So yes, I am going to build probably a resource vehicle this episode. But I'm not too sure what sort of scale or cost to go for at the moment. Probably, let's build up the interface, probably make it out of wooden things, so I would just grab some, probably Stellaris music, because although Mario MIDI is fine, it kind of needs some other stuff going for the rest of the episode. Let's just open that up. And there we go. Hello guys! Actually, there's going to be a resource vehicle, so I need a load of resource storage on this thing. How much resource? Probably 100k? That's 200k. Probably excessive. Yeah, this vehicle is going to be replacing my haulercraft as a primary vehicle for transportation of resources and fuel. Yes, resources and fuel are kind of important, but this just needs to fly, really. But I want it to have at least some sort of aesthetic, so I'm going to go for more like a simple dropship kind of style with dirty blades at each corner. That's true. Go in the volume restricted. Yeah, I didn't do it in the volume restricted because I was actually using the I wanted to start off with the crazy pack thing. The MIDI pack. Okay, the tank is floating. There we go. Yeah, but material storage, actually I could do... It's looking more like a fuel tanker. Yeah, I'll figure out the aesthetics later. I mean, as always, I guess. That'll do. How do I want to have the engines? Probably... It's going to be... The thing is, it's not going to be pretty. Because it needs to be cheap. Very, very, very cheap. I know, I'm actually going to use PID for controlling this. Because I shouldn't really start with this vehicle, I should start with something else. I'll send it, save it as a temp anyway. If I'm doing if I can use PID for actual movement in this, I need to start off with my test bed, which actually works. There you go. So I can actually just use this to make the whole thing function. I need a better engine on it. Goodness, this engine's horrific. Capture prefabs. I need to capture that array. I only need to capture part of the array. I don't need to capture the whole thing. Yeah, only 4 across. That. So now it doesn't fit evenly. Oh well, even hull. Yep, I'll be a crazy person doing even width hull design. Just so I can make it neat. Wait, did that not... delete that and then try again, shall we? Oh. I'm an idiot. I have the wrong mirror line. Quickly add all these on. Now place the PID array. How do I set these up? So reverse U and J. UJ. There, let's jump off that. UJ. UJ. So that should sort out pitch partly. Also H and K on that side as well. I have not tried this out before. It might not work. Or it may work. It may work perfectly and it'll be amazing. And now I need to put in the PID controls. PID. So need to be very responsive, have no derivative, and you will operate on pitch. Very responsive, no derivative, all that. It'll operate on roll. Okay, it may be working. I don't know. I won't know until I actually raise this up. I'll probably give it some power so it can actually maneuver. Nope, that does not seem to be operating correctly. No, I think it's getting... the controls are being mixed up. Is here, if I've got the dedicated ones, does seem to just about function. Mixing the controls on the same blocks is a recipe for disaster, it seems. Yeah, that didn't work, but that's why I make saves. I'm just going to operate it in exactly the same way as the testbed there. Find roughly the centre of mass, found about there. Use the roll ones there. Nah, there's no need for additional ones at the front and rear. And J. Was it that way around? I'll double check. HK, yes, it looks like I got it correct. Good. Again, no derivative. Take that down to low. Pitch. And your... oh, no, not your roll. Is it not doing anything? Oh! I forgot. The most important thing, the PID array. Without that ACB array, nothing actually works properly. There we go. Are these set to always up or something? No. And why this one is failing so much compared to this one? Maybe it's because this one's just heavier. This does have a fairly significant role to play. Actually, what settings do I go for on this? 2.1. I don't think that actually matters. I'll try it anyway. It seems to be flipping the wrong way. Yeah. HK. HK. Yeah. Should really be functioning in exactly the same manner. Odd. For the moment, I'll keep it as it is, and then just add one on for the vertical, just so I can actually see if it's something to do with that rather than anything else. So you going to make drives continuous and probably always up. And try and always keep the vehicle upright. And then a couple of ACBs to control you. No, I should just make it a thruster craft then, rather than trying to do PID Daddy Blades, because that is just a really stupid thing to do. They don't work on PID. It's trying to work around that system is just dumb. Right, there's less an input of say 20. Let's just go on to, where's the spin blocks? There it is, spin blocks. Good. C ground is less than the input of 20. Well, it's more greater than the input 20. Spin blocks, and then that's to 0. Less than. Terrain, seal, ground. Just trying to take it off, even without an engine. Just slap an engine on there and see what happens. Prefab, Evil Bricks engine. My favourite little engine is this. Why do I think it's not functioning right? That's really odd. Oh! Put a limit on. Well, but technically the PID is on. It doesn't seem very stable though, does it? Yeah, that's not very stable whatsoever. Oh, hang on, my message thing has not been showing chat. Sorry about that. Hang on. Yes, it does seem a bit drunk. Hang on, I'm just trying to get the chat window to show on my tablet so I can actually see what you guys are saying. Because you haven't been saying stuff and I have not seen it. Right. I'm going to send a test message out. There we go, I can actually see that. Good. Hopefully it'll now carry on working, I'll be able to switch you guys, but yes, it does seem a little bit drunk, doesn't it? Doesn't use much fuel, but I think I'll probably be best just using a standard ACB setup for the Daddy Blades rather than a PID system. But the PID system is working, ish. Honest. Yeah, no it isn't. If I am going to go for aesthetics, I want to remove all of these. Okay, a standard sort of quadcoptery type design. Might change these from lengthways to more vertical, actually. You could say it's more like a dropship. Yeah, might try that. Once more with the Daily Blade spinners. Actually, this does use less Daddy Blades, this method. How am I going to go about these? The reason I'm doing this is that I am actually going to be changing the block that each one is sitting on. Put the ACBs either side. No, not that one. That one. I get to use the universal copy and paste on these. So if it is less than 20, set the spin blocks. If in continuous mode 230, effect range of 3. Oh, whoops, I accidentally copied the same one rather than pasting it. And then if it is greater than, I'd like you to shut down to probably only about 5 initially. And all of these I should put all these onto always up fraction as well. The reason for that is that if it gets inverted, I think it will actually allow it to operate fine. I love this universal copy and paste. So good. Yeah, so that's the universal copy and paste function Legion added in, not well, patch in the last one, not this most recent one. He fixed a bug which I found. Yay! It was bugged with shields, and that's now been fixed. Yep, just, you know, Control C, Control V, and you can copy settings from, well, Deadly Blades, ACBs, shields, all sorts. It's a very, very nice little feature. And so you will not fly yet because you don't have a name. Motor. Evil Bricks engine. I may use RTGs actually on this build. Yeah. One of the few vehicles I might use an RTG for. Don't like RTGs, they're way too expensive. Excellent. That works. Sort of. It's still drunk because it is way too powerful for its functionality. Yep, and it's going way too high. Cool. And 5 is still too much for it to... It's still making it rise. That is a very light craft. That's good though. Means I can actually power this by RTGs. How big an RTG I need to actually operate this? I'll try with a 4 meter to start with, just because it fits in nicely there. And then battery beams again. A couple there. Like, so there's more than enough energy. Kind of crazy. Let's just reduce the motor drive down to only a fraction of that. Make it fall down a load more. The reason I'm not wanting to use Steam is because I find Steam is too expensive for running. This is a resource carrying craft. It's going to be basically alive for the entirety of a campaign. So the fact that it uses Steam, which at best efficiency is 200 energy material, it's not that good. Fuel can make very, very efficient, but an RTG is actually going to become efficient because of how much it's going to be alive for. And why on earth is it doing that? Oh, it's because it's too powerful. There you go, that'll do for now. I'll add a PID stabilisation onto it probably in a little bit. For now, that's going to be functioning okay. Yeah, it's nice for a cargo vessel, but RTGs are going to make this completely free to operate, and it means that I can transport all the materials to a location and all the fuel and that. Speaking of, I need to carry fuel in this thing. That's going to make it quite a bit heavier. Just go to a load of boxes and material. Now a ton of fuel. So it's carrying a fair amount of fuel and a lot of material. Oh, doesn't it? Well, so it doesn't use any material out of play. Huh. That seems a bit buggy. I'd expect Gladian to fix that, considering the number of other little things it keeps fixing here and there, or breaking, depending on your perspective. Now, should this carry ammo? How much do you transport ammo in between fleets? Never really considered it, because I don't transport ammo yet, but it could be quite handy. Well, let's get this thing operational, and then I can actually start figuring out what I want to be carrying with it. But something like that as a compartment for carrying resources will probably be pretty good, and actually fairly robust, which is quite a nice little side feature. So it currently sinks like a brick. Actually, what I could do, let's make out of a cockpit at the back, so like actually a cargo ship, have all the resources in front. Yeah, I don't think it will give resources to a vehicle out of play in a fight. It's just whether or not a force is going to consume all of its ammo during a battle, that it might actually benefit from having something nearby with a big ammo storage, but probably just inflates the cost for no reason, doesn't it? It has some sort of... Oh, I know what I want to do for the rear. I'm just roughing an idea out at the moment. So I'd have a couple of pods. No, the pods need to go down, centre of mass is low. A couple of engine pods below, in line with the hull here. And then some sort of superstructure in this area, around here or such. So, so to have the engines at the back, then at the front, can drop down as a frontal nose part, then have the engine pods in that at the fore, the turning. No, if ammo barrels don't regenerate out of play, then there's not much point in having a big structure. I was considering having it in my forts somewhere to actually transport munitions around, but well, I think all the out of play stuff. So steam using materials out of play, and then also having ammo being produced out of play, that sort of thing. So let's just save that as a rough concept. So yeah, so sort of have the hooks in the middle to hold the resource materials from the central spine going over there, and the propellers at each side, which I will encase in some sort of shell. Yeah. It's in at 20,000. Yeah, that'll be the fuel. I might make this cheaper by just deleting a load of those fuel tanks. I know that I should probably just use Protect to spawn these fuel tanks without full fuel, but you know, there is that. Oh yes, version 2.15 allows everything painted. So for example, you can paint mantlets now. Mantlets can be painted, as can gimbals. So all these gimbals and that, they can now be painted. So I can paint them red or orange. And I think it also works for some of the other components as well. Yep. Yeah, it basically works. Everything can now be painted, which is really rather awesome. Doesn't mean that a load of things which have already been painted will need to be repainted because they will look weird, but that's not really a bother. I would much prefer things to be able to be painted now. I could do a differential thrust on this actually, couldn't I? I haven't done differential thrust for ages. Yep. And then build that like this. Now, should I go for differential thrust thing? There isn't a full paint vehicle, but you can paint things really fast with the sprayer. You just go to full size, go to like say Fleet Main, and then just do this. And there we go, the whole ship's painted. So there is that option. That's been in the game for a while. So you just remove all the paint, there we go. Now I can go back to where we were. So I prefer working in non-painted blocks, just because I find it a bit easier to see where everything is. Just trying to remember how differential thrust works with Deadly Blades. So I want to go to control down to our ACBs. Needs to be in the middle, and then this one set spin blocks to every second, isn't it? Every is it? Do we undo it every second? Is it all the time? Oh yeah, the sprayer is a avatar item paint sprayer. So yeah, that's in the Z menu, paint sprayer, and it's dirt cheap. It costs 8. I have 92 spare points. It's not exactly an expensive upgrade. So activate every half second, and in spin blocks within, I mean, it's 1, 2, yeah, it's just 3, isn't it? So within 3, set to, no, I should have wanted to set them to full power. Set them to about 20. Now you want full motor drive. Actually, no, these are going to be instant spin. Oh, no, reverse. I want them to be pushers, not pullers. They don't seem to be spinning very fast, do they? So I've really forgotten how to do this. And then ACB there, ACB there, ACB there. 1, 2. So yeah, they're all 3. So if this receives an input to your left, I want this to set the spin block to 10 and it to slow down. If yours right, I want it to speed up. Copy, come on. So that now, put an AI in here somewhere. AI card, enable AI. Let's quickly save this. Well, it flies. There's that much. I need to set these as minus. Nope, it's still not working properly. Let's just do the whole minus thing. It's going to make it go really, really jolty to start with, but I kind of need the control. Let's get rid of the always up fraction. Okay, so it's sort of working.
Listening. Control moving out.
No, the differential thrust is not functioning. I've messed it up.
Listening. Moving out. Moving out.
Oh no, is it? At 20. I should set these on around or something. Spin blocks. Range 3. So yes, they should be. Actually, let's just change this to when given an option to go forwards. Come back.
Moving out.
And no, it is not actually working. That's really annoying. Your left, your right. As far as I can tell, the differential thrust should be functioning, but I'm never that good with it. Oh! That'll be why. Yeah, so the reason it wasn't working differential thrust was because it didn't have... well, it was facing the wrong direction, so it wasn't receiving the commands correctly. No, come back here. Ah! I hate it when that happens. I'm going to latch onto a building and you accidentally build a block a couple away from it. There we go. Paste everything. Didn't save it after reconfiguring the 30 blades, did I? I can do loop the loops. Why this isn't actually pushing it down is really quite irritating. But there we go. Good. I'll save it this time, and now it should
Listening. Controls moving out.
actually turn. Yes, it's turning, just really drunkenly because the weight distribution is absolutely ballsed. I'm going to build a chair on this thing, then I can actually keep up with the darn thing.
Complete.
There we go. Yeah, the drag is so annoying. Of course, I need to add an aerodynamic wedge. I can actually start working a bit on the aesthetics, but I think I still might add on another couple of 30 blades in this area. Just so then I've got the differential turning and then actual turning at the front as well. What's the max speed of this? Power max speed. Where's the speed of it? Max speed is 3 meters per second. Okay. Fine. So 1, 2, 3. Yep, good. They're out of range of each other. To your left, go continuous to that. And then when it's to your right, go the opposite. And then you be your left. No, it's your left, it's minus 30. And when it's your right, plus 30. And it helps if they were actually did blades rather than the extensions, wouldn't it? Drive continuous, mode drive, continuous like that, save to make sure these actually work.
Listening, moving out.
No, not that one, that one.
Complete.
Is it working? I cannot tell from the forces. Yeah, looks like it is. It's a little bit more expensive than I was expecting, but I think that's primarily due to the amount of these here. Let's just halve the amount of fuel, remove the superfluous RTGs. It does need a couple of RTGs. How much power does it use? Max power use at max speed is 200, so it does need a couple of them to keep up with the power demands of the craft at max speed, which is a little bit slow. I need this to go a lot faster, but that should come with aerodynamics, because at the moment it's got this massive base just acting as a huge sail. Nope. Memo mode on. And now let's make a nose cone type thing. Not that one. Back. I think block and then yeah, this might work. Slopes. 3-meter slopes. Can get the requirement of that in, but could just have it internal or higher up. Probably just have it higher up actually. Just delete all of that. Glad those the ship just didn't fall off then. And then place it in line with the centre of mass there. Good. Oh, I don't need the nose to be that long. Nice fish, yes. No, it's not. It's not the style I want. I want it more snub nose than that. I'm kind of thinking of the Thunderhawk gunship from 40k. That's the sort of style I'm thinking of for how I want the front to be. A much more angular front end, I guess. Block there, and then they're not beam slope. Something a bit like that. Just fill in the blocks so it's a bit easier for you to see what I'm talking about. There's much more of a wedge shape at the front there. We'll just expand that out a couple of blocks to either side. That'll basically be it. But it can be slopes because this is Ashes and you need to get as much space as possible, right? Volume limited. Slopes for everyone. And then a beam at the front, like thus. I'm actually just going to make this purely an internal database system, I think. Oh, well, let's do this properly and actually put on these as proper blocks like that. So can it just do 1, 2, place, place, and then no, actually this one not going to be that. It's going to be the inverted. Like so. Place down. That's no. Yeah, it seems alright. Place and place. Now just fill this in with beams or slopes. All about the slopes. Then at the top here, actually, let's just do that. No, I'll change my mind on that one. I'm not too sure how I want to do the top part. Front there is at least more reasonable. And to actually do these things looking okay. So steam engines, steam piping, and hull pipes. Pipe that so. Nice. Good. So all the propellers are actually more sensible positioning. And then all of them can have this sort of arrangement around the propellers, just to make them a little bit more, well, seem more protected, I guess. Ah. And where am I missing bricks? There we go. There we go. At least we have some okay looking aesthetics there. It's not great, I will admit. Particularly that looks really weird. This is the sort of thing which can now be attached by beams directly to the hull. Like so, really. Now, how do the rest of this? Let's just save it again. Next to mass, made it a little bit more stable, actually. It's getting a couple of meters per second faster. It's still horrifically slow. Let's just move this wall to start with, see if that actually helps. And I've got to put mirror mode on, so that was a bit of an annoyance. But it does actually help. Might just work around that, rather than having the race superstructure at the rear like a, I think more like an oil tanker, a cargo vessel. As actual more of the dropship with the cockpit at the front. So that links to that there. I think the engine pods need to be set a little bit further back, actually. Dump the AI here, right at the front. Come on, let's put a virtual beam down. This doesn't need to look pretty, it's not ever going to be seen. Apart from by you lot. So that's the enable AI there. That needs to be adjusted a little bit. Probably rotate all of these round. And then so it can just be a straight line into the hull rather than that. Yeah, I'll just do that first of all. Copy and pastes work. Oh, done it. I forgot the copy paste doesn't work mirrored. Copy, paste all those like that. So, yeah, I know. Yes, it is never going to be seen, is it? And why did this one fall off but the other one didn't? Confusing me with mirror mode sometimes. Well, I hope it's barely ever seen in combat because, well, if it's in combat then things have gone very, very, very wrong. I'm not crazy enough to send this too much into combat. I've come far? Not really. You're just doing badly. Oh. I overwrote it. I overwrote the settings. Right, let's save it this time. There we go. Let's prefab this whole rear section. How deep is it? Okay. So it's just the width now. This is the point where I find that I've built it completely wrong and it all falls apart. Oh no, it doesn't. Oh. Feel a bit disappointed actually. That there, like so. Yeah, just double it up. More interesting. Actually, top one will be fuel engine exhaust. And perhaps the other way around. Yeah, have it the other way around. Steam piping, 8 meter pipe. Yeah, that works. Now, how to lay out the cargo? That is now needs to be 2 slopes. No, just delete that one. I don't need both. Looks better one on a combat craft, but I don't need it on this one. I'll still use it too. That's just so that now I can actually go straight up to a solid block rather than a normal one there. Yep, will work. Constructing with slopes again. Yeah, well, it's still a stick, it's just a slightly different shaped stick now. Now I have to integrate this into the hull a bit more now as well. Perhaps move it back a little bit. I think that's being a bit too kind. Where do I put the RTGs? I think the battery beam and then the actual electric engine can go at the front. It could go near the back, I suppose. First of all, let's put all our storage on. Do I move this back? Sure, it is a flying stick. It's... Let's put into that. Now, I don't know how 54,000 fuel is a fair amount, but I don't really want to carry too much, I suppose. Just because it costs so much to purchase these things. It's annoying that the beams are slightly different in length. Yeah, I need to extend this just so I can make it even, because it must be neat and tidy. Remove that. There we go. Thinking about there. Yeah, it's just the cost of the vehicle by default, but that is a really annoying thing. I do hope that gets ported into vanilla game, being able to build fuel blocks without full fuel, because the 1:10 ratio is really annoying when you've got such good refineries around. So if I place that there... Oh, it goes off the front. Just pull it forward another couple of blocks, I think. Something like that. It's going to just be a whole engine array now. Yeah, this works. Maybe. So that there. I should just extend these further. Let's save that again. And what I'll do is over the whole structure have these clamps. No, something like that for actually holding the cargo. Oh, chat. And now I just need to put on the RTGs. Should now provide enough lift for it to get off of the ground. As I said, provide enough lift to get off the ground. Oh, I haven't got motor drive on. And we've just fallen off the edge of the world. Set to 10. Save the vehicle, restart the designer so I'm not in the ocean anymore. It takes a moment for the RTGs to power up, it seems. Stabilizes eventually ish. There's too much of a gap, I think, between storage and the hold, but maybe there isn't. Hey Gunsmith Legend. Oh, I actually don't have enough power. Right, so now I think I just need to make these ACBs even more potent. This one even more potent. Copy, paste. Do really like the copy paste feature when it comes to ACB placement. Pole extender like that. And then 1, 2, 3. Don't think of giving the commands the incorrect one. Reverse. Reverse motor drive to full. Motor drive to full. Okay, we're actually going at 36 meters per second. Still, unfortunately, a lot slower than the existing hauler. So max speed, yep, only 36 meters per second. I kind of want that to be a lot higher. Let's have a look. Yeah, it just has a lot of drag. Actually, no, let's put this up a little bit higher.
Control moving out.
Actually, I don't need differential thrust on this, do I? It's going to be able to play. Set it to max speed all the time. Go for it. I'm trying to keep this cheap and not use anything at all, hence why I'm also using RTGs. So this is just going to be purely transporting material and fuel to the front lines where it's needed. Like jumping from the pipeline to the front lines, wherever. And yeah, because yes, I could use custom jet engines to make it go very, very fast, and it would be very, very fast, but it'd also use up all the resources trying to get to the front lines.
Orders complete.
I'm going a bit faster now. Yeah, up to 44 meters per second. A bit more reasonable. Now, I know that's actually really quite fast. Sometimes it does that with things. It's like, oh yeah, it's only going 30 meters per second. That's actually really quite speedy. What happens if I've just wedged everything? Lots of wedges. Or if you find this has a rather big effect.
Listening, moving out.
Not as big as I thought. Still, it is quite fast with all that rubbish on there. Let's actually add this on. No, that doesn't work.
Orders complete.
I'm just considering ways to make this go faster. Wait a minute. Let's go 7 across. Let's just remove this. Kind of spin block it all. Another piston as well. New object. Telescopic piston. And roll that around. New objects. Piston. And on this prefab. Oh no, put the piston on the wrong side. For where I actually want the stuff to be. And place it there. Why is it falling off the piston? You must be trying to work out why pistons don't work. Seriously, why are you falling off? There is a connection point here, right? Okay. Well, can fuel not go on pistons? That might be the reason. Yeah, certain things they can't go on the pistons. That'll be why. I thought they could, but I thought it could. And there is a way to make it so that other things can go on pistons, but I'll do it for aesthetics, but for exploiting like I'm trying to do now, no, I won't do that. Just trying to make it look a little bit more even, because it isn't. There we go, just put it all back on there. And think of more legitimate ways to speed it up. What if I just put a big jet engine on? What's the speed to go up to then?
Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out.
I can't seem to use it. It does not have anywhere near enough power. Is there actually a maximum speed achievable by Dirty Blades? I didn't think there was. Oh, I want it to be quick because I want it to be able to get around to various forces for building and repairs. Speaking of, I would need to put on a load of repair tentacles. But, yeah, I want it to be able to get to places, refuel, resupply, and build wherever I need to when I change the game to, well, localised rather than the centralised resources, which I have on at the moment, which is convenient, but that's why I want this. I want this to be convenient. Oh, don't have a max speed. Sweet, so I just need to make it better so that it can go faster. Always. So it's got the main drag. Oh wait, no, there's a drag menu, isn't there? That's a lot cost density. It's a cost density. That's it. So this is providing the drag. Yeah, this display is showing the drag. It's just trying to how on earth do I improve it? So these side props I could actually put on with spin blocks. That'd make them less draggy. How else do I make this thing just drag less?
Orders complete.
Yeah, this doesn't seem to be doing very much for the whole reducing drag, does it? That's weird. That's green. That's red. Is that actually true drag type things? I seem to remember that was a thing before. Is that actually higher drag than that? So that seems less red now. Oh, right. Now that's what you meant by when it was obstructed. So if it did that, that's actually less drag. Ah, interesting. I'd got that wrong. I need to update some information then. Yeah, look, I've got a whole 0.2 meters per second faster by doing that. It looks really dumb. Let's see what happens if I just go put on a lot more steady blades. Not that much faster. Yeah, blades don't. The spinners seem to. Yes, it's not going that quickly. Not as quickly as I would like. This is quite heavy, isn't it? There's massive storage beams in the middle. If we just take out this and just reduce the weight. That doesn't seem to make any effect whatsoever. That's nice to know. I think it's just time to make the Deadly Blade actual engine bigger. I don't know if this is actually going to increase the drag, but, you know. Two, three. We need to increase you to a slightly longer test range now. Oops. Build that there. Actually, no, let's just go bit larger all the way around. I suppose I could use sails. Sails would make this go fast, wouldn't it? Wouldn't they? One. Two, 1, 2. So that would be where new dead blade spinner starts. Yep. Just like that. And then delete the blocks because I'm a fool. Kind of interfering with this propeller now, isn't it? One can integrate them together, I guess. That's one method of making those link up. Whoops. Da, 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 da. And now these full engine power reverse. Full engine power and reverse. And now I have no engine power. Cool. Where's the RTGs? There they are, RTGs. Actually, while I'm waiting for the power to load up, might as well do this. Get the maximum power as soon as possible. Looks like is it draining? Power max speed 600. Oh. Well, this is getting really quite expensive now, isn't it? Look, here's the power for the strike. You know, I'm probably going to have to do something like that, aren't I? Let's destroy all. Bump that up to 4. Continuous reverse. Now this is going to be a little bit more. This is the first layer of cheese. What's the maximum power usage now? I said that's the first layer of cheese. You ain't seen nothing yet. I'm just getting ready to prefab this now. Right, prefab. Height 3, width 7, and length about 12, isn't it? Nah, it's not even that much. 8. Less. There we go, that's what I'm trying to do. Right, so all I need to do is just take out these blocks. And now the ultimate cheese will begin. I think that will probably do for the moment with the amount of cheese I'm going to put in this thing. Oh, I missed. So that's spin block 1. And I think you know where I'm going with this. I'm just not very quick at this because I don't do this that often. There's plenty of space for more spin blocks. If I want to be really cheesy, I could actually spin block on the spin blocks for more spin blocks. And that would probably break the game at some point with the amount of spin block shenanigans. Okay, I'm just intrigued to see how much just 3 of these do. ACB. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just making sure this I'm not going to break it. 1, 2. I've got enough. Plenty of space. Cool. Put this up to about 9, and it won't do anything too nasty. And then spin block. I don't actually want it to rotate the spin blocks, I just want to do the stuff on the spin blocks. I know I'm quite near the volume limit. Because if I do this with the spin blocks, it's actually going to make it the whole lot spin, isn't it? Actually, I could put the ACB on the spin blocks, can't I? Yeah. What am I doing? See, I don't want this to rotate. Do I lock it? Probably the only way to make this go faster is to use sails, because they can get a lot of thrust with nothing. Oh, let's find out. Spin block set to 30. Well, it seems to be working. I didn't get the centre of mass quite right. So drag is high. one solution to lowering drag. And it just nose plants into the ground. Wow. Interesting shockwave through the ship there. Yeah, no, I'm really capping out on the engine power. It's just that's probably why it was flipping, isn't it? Well, let's save this cheesy monstrosity. Let's place the engine at the back here. Okay, this is using more than that. Interesting. Just how much engine power does this use? Ah! Quite a lot. That's why I was trying to get a slightly better engine than this, but let's do a couple of injector balls to see just how much power I'm going to require to squeeze on this design. I will use pistons, but I haven't got piston prefabbed at the moment. 2k power, nice. Well, it's definitely going fast enough now. It's just going completely the wrong direction. But it would work out of play. There is that. Oh, we kind of like it to fly in a straight line while in play, though. Rather than doing loop-the-loops all the time. Which way is this going? It's always up. Does that have a better effect or not? No, it does not seem to be having any effect whatsoever. I'm so good at jinxing myself, aren't I? Doing a campaign, I do it on stream. Yeah. Grab that, and then extend all of these steady blades a little bit. That and that. Yeah. Let's save this there. Bye. Whee! It's doing pretty loop-the-loops. And the seagulls are trying to follow it. Because I've got them in continuous mode. Let's see. That helps. Nope, it does not. Oh, because I've configured everything the same. You know, it's fine. It should be going down, not doing loop-the-loops. What a stupid drag, isn't it? I'm not very good with Deady Blades, as it turns out. Stop pitching up so heavily. I suppose I could just raise the whole engine pod by another block. That might help. Just now need to spin block to use the whole thing, but you know. Raise the whole thing by another block. Let's do that. All this effort for something which will never actually be seen. that. Then where's that one, isn't it? That's what I want. Close enough. So let's lock the spin block, then place the 30 blade mess on top of it. Its main hull, and getting more complex to see where things are going now. People who do tons of spin block shenanigans are really quite impressive with how they do it all, because I cannot understand heads or tail what I'm doing. Good there. Finally, one more. New sub-object, spin block. I suppose better make sure all three of those are locked. And spin block cheese. So you can see what all I've done at the sides there. Oh wait, no power. Should probably use steam engine. I need 2,000 power. What's that? Two boilers, isn't it? I think. Forgotten how much power each one of the steam boiler does. What turbine? First of all, let's just test the power output of this. Oh, I know. I could put the engine in here, can't I? Yes. I could actually put the engine internally with all the spin block shoes. First of all, place a couple of the injector engines because I want to see the power output of this. It goes nice and fast. Nice. I'm going to design a steam engine with that amount of power in a straight line. Which you could also put on a spin block. Or should I... No, because if... I should really use pistons. The reason I think I should use pistons is because otherwise I'm going to need a lot of other components for this. Like lots of batteries. What's the cost of this thing now? It's going to be less than just low, shy of 30k. Steam piping. And that will go feed straight into piston. And then a gearbox at the side. That'll work, won't it? Oh, that's more power than I forgot how good steam is. Yeah, but I forgot how good steam was. That'll do. Destroy all, and then because I want to see what I'm doing a little bit. So resources. Let's get myself a couple of steam engine components then, because if they don't generate anything outside of play, then why not use them, right? Five-way. Corner pipe. Then I want to get the crankshaft things. Piston. And then finally, the large gearbox. Oh, why isn't it? Oh, it's not working because I forgot to put the controllers on. Okay. There we go. Also, apparently I have full power, just randomly sitting around. I'm really not sure about drag anymore. I got a load of drag mechanics wrong, just so... My steam engine leaking? Oh, it's leaking. Yes, it is leaking. Whoops. Yeah, my steam engine was leaking. Save this, because this should now be moving rather speedily. Okay, moment of truth. Release! It works. It's fine. Perfect. The Dirty Blades are still going. That's... Oh no, they've now stopped. Okay. Yep. Cool. Fine. Perfect. Let's go a little bit higher. That means that any oddity means it won't necessarily instantaneously nuke itself. Probably still will, because I've made this absolutely atrociously, but that's all part of the fun and games. Oh, dear. This is perfect. It's exactly what I want. It works! Sort of. It's a bit over twitchy, but I think that's a success, sort of. It's going a lot slower than it was before. Let's actually put on some miscs and repair bots. Probably not at the front, actually, since it likes to nosedive. Where should I put the repair box? Probably in the middle here. And then also the repair tentacles, the compact ones. Oh, really nice amount of repair there. Don't really know how many I should have on a builder unit. Probably more than that. That'll do nicely. Travelling along, traverses at 80 meters per second now. And it's only mostly jank. So I think that's actually a successful-ish vehicle. So we're going to end the stream here then. So I'll save the vehicle.